It is a dream come true. Sometimes it can be wonderful to hear this statement, and other times it can be scary. As human beings, we cannot stop dreaming of a better life. We cannot stop searching for innovative solutions to facilitate our lives. This is humanity's ultimate goal. From the Stone Age, the invention of the wheel, to the fine age of artificial intelligence today, everything has been all about making our lives easier. AI is a system with abilities that can learn to achieve goals and adapt to new information. Although we're using the word AI heavily today, it is not a new concept at all. AI has been around since the 1950s, taking many years and experiences to be in the highly advanced form that we see today. Varying between machine learning that needs structured and labeled data, and deep learning that work nearly in a similar way to the human brain, through analyzing and conceptualizing, we can definitely feel the AI impact on our daily lives. From problem-solving aspects that can start from a simple game to an autonomous weaponry system, to knowledge building to an extent that can present knowledge about the world, analyze markets, prevent from fraud, and make medical diagnosis, to planning by setting goals and achieving them efficiently, communicating with spoken and written languages through voice control, and having the ability of elation through the sensory inputs. All of these are the superpowers provided by AI to help people. But does it really help everyone? Last year, the owner of Facebook faced accusations of exploiting vast amounts of private data, and the entire world recognized the danger of owing people's personal data. Not only can AI affect people's lives, but it can also make fateful changes in various countries, especially when countries vary in the levels dealing with AI technology. The sheer volume of information on the planet's surface has shown the inevitability of needing newer technologies that can make use of all these data and store it. Taking into consideration the AI enormous capabilities, nuclear tests and weapons have to face the threat of restrictions despite their adverse impact on humanity. So we may now ask a simple question: is it possible that they would be legalized? Hence, the notion to regulate the use of artificial intelligence and establishing rules and laws to deal with it is not a novelty. In some countries such as China, in May 2019, the Peking Academy of Artificial Intelligence began to consider ethical principles related to the use of AI, which included avoiding the negative effects of the malignant intelligence. This is maintained by continuing preventive and predictive policymaking regarding augmented intelligence. In some other countries, such as Germany, the UK, the European Union, and the United States of America, multinationals are required to produce ethical evidence about their AI activities. All of these legal moves at the level of states raise the inevitability of an international action that can codify these technologies ethically and preserve the security of the state's information. But are the international laws and manufacturers able to realize, understand, and control the complex technology that grows and develops in the laboratories? Will the balance of power and the formula...
Very simple. I'd like to ask you, sir, about how would AI really influence our daily lives? Our government, our society now is talking, let's say for example, about different systems of automation for banking sector, speaking about different systems that manage smart cities. How would AI systems really impact our daily life?
You know, that's a great question. In fact, AI is so integrated. It's in your phone. Your phone actually won't really give you that personal kind of quality without AI embedded in it. In fact, my phone has this chip called an A12 bionic chip that can do 6 trillion operations per second. It's in your email. When you go online and search for things, AI is integrated into that as well. When you drive vehicles, wherever you go, it controls traffic lights. You can't escape with AI. In fact, in the last quarter of 2017, it actually invaded everything that's out there. That's some kind of machine learning or data analytics or something really associated with this sort of bigger idea of artificial intelligence. And from an economy standpoint, it's indicated that maybe it'll drive an increase of up to almost $16 trillion. That's like more than the GDP of China and Japan combined in terms of economies. That means jobs and capabilities and new kinds of freedoms and so on. So I think it's a great enabler.
But if you're creating new jobs, you must be letting go some others for the systems, for the AI systems to replace. So what do you need to keep the jobs flowing, and what do you need to not to lose a large segment of the people, of the workforce already there?
So that's a great question. You know, just as many years ago when we got automobiles and the buggy whip manufacturers and people who made that lost their jobs and they had to be re-skilled. The same thing is occurring in artificial intelligence. However, the latest research is indicating there's actually going to be a net gain, even in the next 3 years, of 58 million new jobs, or 58 million jobs total actually, so gaining from the aspect of artificial intelligence, even over the losses. So now your question, what kind of skills should you have? Well, skills that are very sort of human-like, like the ability to do social interaction, to have emotional empathy with others, to be able to do analytical thinking, or to do active learning, or, of course, anything that's technically oriented. Like, how about robotic design, like with Sophia over there? Or working in some kind of technical areas as well. But it doesn't have to be technical. As long as you add that human element, for some time you're going to need to have employment and be augmented by the proliferation of artificial intelligence.
I was just speaking here now about our impressions that comes up from the movies and the Hollywood culture, if I may call it. I'd like to ask you, Doctor, you're a neurologist, and in the last movie of Terminator, the big movie star Arnold Schwarzenegger, he ended up growing unconscious and making up for mistakes that he did earlier, on the earlier parts of the movie. Are we really close to having algorithms and AI systems growing unconscious?
I think the main concern here is completely outside of reality. The reality is artificial intelligence is made to act as a supplement to human life as it is, to extend our capacities, not just substitute life. So in that case, when artificial intelligence does develop some kind of consciousness, it is not going to be something human-like. It is going to be something completely original that no expert in this world can actually comprehend. And it will not be programmed as well. It will be born of an anomaly. Like human conscience or human consciousness has been born through anomalies. So we have become that. Life is about 3.5 billion years old on this planet. From this one cell, we have become so many life forms, and among them we are the smartest. All of them were, none of them were programmed. We just went through evolution, through mutation. Likewise, if artificial ever does develop consciousness, it will be again through some kind of anomaly.
Dr. Muhammad, I will continue in English if you may allow me, for the sake of our panelists here. You've moved from Ain Shams University to Switzerland, and then to Stanford in the US, and now you're in Singapore. You're working on AI systems. When you're working on AI systems, that's going to be of really great impact on our daily lives. What kind of security do you need? Do you have the security issue in mind? Do you have how to detect some kind of errors or certain cyber attacks, as we may call it, within this AI systems that influence on daily life?
Okay. So when you're developing AI systems, right, there are four major components you want to take care of. One, you want to make them detect as accurate as possible. You want to make sure that they make this kind of detection very quickly. Also, you don't want them to consume a lot of power. But one of the most important key elements here is that you want to make them secure, that no one could easily penetrate that and make these systems use around the city. This is where cybersecurity comes in, and I think that this topic is actually really complicated and deserves a session on its own. But to make it very simple, you need to protect when the data is being created to where you want to apply the AI. Right? One way to solve this is to bring these two systems very close together. Another way that you can encrypt the message, right, make it look very difficult for people to decrypt it using, for example, cryptography.
No, I'm speaking English.
Okay, so really advanced algorithms to do that. And then you can apply your AI applications on it. Even you can take this really step forward in the future and say that, you know what, I'm going to apply the AI in the encrypted data itself, right? But it is an active research topic, and there are a lot of people looking into this. It's a really hot topic in many nations. Cybersecurity is an issue, right? Because we are now way more interconnected than we've ever been, and we're heading even into a more interconnected world through the innovation of 5Gs and Internet of Things. Pretty much going to be sensors everywhere they come on with everything you use. So you want to be able to make sure that the data that's being used in whatever AI application is the correct data, and you get the right information out of it.
There's another part that I want to talk about, which is data entry and the legal responsibilities, the liabilities that comes with this whole development. ايه هي المسؤولية الأخلاقية وايه هي المسؤولية القانونية اللي بيتم تطويرها دلوقتي، اللي الخبراء بيشتغلوا عليها. لسه مستمرين في جوانب كتير قوي معقدة، بنحاول نبسطها لحضراتكم بس علشان تفهموا كمان أكتر، يبقى في يعني نظرة أشمل على هذا الموضوع لأي درجة الذكاء الاصطناعي متداخل مع حياتنا. خلونا نتابع فيلم قصير. موسى طبعا.